Hello. Thank you for letting us talk for today's occasion. We are very grateful to be receiving this award for our public art project in Tainan. I'd like to talk about our project briefly, and also about some other related project we've been doing on the public art mainly, and talk about especially for the lighting and its effect and the potential to contribute to society and also the people's life. It's just about the lighting, but there is an enormous amount of potential in related to the public art alone. But of course, we are an architect, so there's so many more territory that the lighting can do for enhancing the people's activity. So I'd like to go over with it. First, our brief introduction of our team. We are Noiz architect based in Tokyo and Taipei, and we've been working on this territory for 15 years. We have a Taipei office, and this project is mainly covered by Taipei office. And the project we've worked on for this award is the tiny project. We are architecture office, so we normally do design the building and the interior space. So it is unusual to work on the art piece like this, but at the same time, we often work on the public art because it has a different channel to communicate with the society and the people other than the architecture. So we actually do like to work on it. And this is one of the very successful projects to work with the local government, local people, and also the artwork itself is the collaboration with the graphic designer. In this case, the graphic designer is Mr. Kenya Hara. He's also from Japan, and he is very well-known, internationally well-known graphic designer. And we have to work with him to enhance his unique quality of a graphic design and translate it into the three-dimensional composition. And in this case, we kind of intended to be four-dimensional or maybe more, 5, 6, 7-dimensional, multi-dimensional experience that is including the time and change or more of the ephemerality than just the still graphic. The Kenya Hara is known for the super minimum and super precise graphic design, and we wanted to maintain and enhance his usual graphic design quality and translate it into this spatial composition. In this case, we titled it as the shadow in motion. And shadow in motion, as it literally says, it's indicating and including the concept of the time. And maybe you haven't really gone there and experienced it in really in motion. In fact, I haven't been there because of the Corona issue. I haven't been able to go into Taiwan since it's completed, but it is very obvious that this composition, this public art project, is deeply and heavily relying on the concept of the time and change. As you can see, this artwork is composed of the 3 layers of rotating white steel panels. Each panel is rotating slightly as it goes on, and also the whole composition is composed by the 3 different layers. So there is a moire effect as you walk around, or as you drive through, or as you walk up and down in the middle of the artwork through the stairway. Different movement and different time would give you a different optical experience. Because of the moire effect, it would enhance the movement, even though your movement is very slight. It moves drastically, and the different time and different season of the year, that the lighting effect and the casted shadow pattern is going to be deferred, so that the pattern and movement is always changing and never be the same. The weather might be reflecting a lot on the effect, and as also for the lighting effect of the daytime and nighttime may be making a drastic difference. So all those ephemeral conditions or richness of the appearance of the artwork is part of our intention of this artwork. Again, the original intention of this artwork is to enhance the very unique quality of Mr. Hala's graphic design quality, which is a super precise minimalism. So you can see here that every single the piece of metal is super precisely placed in location and also the angle. And to maintain that, we had to deal with this existing condition. This museum, Tainan Art Museum, is very unique because it's a new building and a quite humongous building, but at the same time, it's built on the pre-existing parking lot underground. As you know, that the old underground parking lot is not really precisely made. The building is kind of roughly done, and there is not even the existing drawing. So the achieving a precision of the Kenya has quality is quite challenging for us on the pre-existing condition like the underground parking lot like this. So the challenge start with the to cope with the frontline digital technologies. In this case, we use the three-dimensional laser scanner to achieve the existing conditions three-dimensionally, super precisely. It's a sub-millimeter precision, and we scan it in several angles, and so that we can get every single beam and every single bump of the floor, ceiling, and then all the pipes and stuff. So we get the super precise 3D data and transfer into the 3D software we normally use and plan everything in digital space. And we get the program to achieve this intended ephemeral quality of the moire effect, so that the people or driver or the sunlight and shadow can provide the intended movement as an effect. And with that simulation and then test, and we get this adequate composition of a three-dimensional play. And we have to transfer into the actual object from data. So to do that, we didn't conventionally draw drawings of the floor plan and section, but instead we directly sent this data to the laser cutter locally in Taiwan. So the design is done by, and then simulation is done by in Tokyo, but all the data is sent digitally directly to the manufacturer in Taiwan. In this case, is the metal laser cutter. They laser cut everything, every single piece, and every single template from on the ground and the ceiling, so that the location and the angle are super precisely, embedded into the material. We don't need to go through the drawing. We don't need to go through the carpenter's kind of goodwill, but we just rely on the data and the precise fabrication method. So whoever assembled this, as far as they follow the methodology of what we design and inscribed into the laser cutter and then actually cut metal pieces, it is guaranteed to be precise and accurate, and that's going to have the very sensitive optical effect. So that's the part we take advantage of the recent technology and to achieve this super precise digital installation in the pre-existing rough circumstance. And especially it's the international collaboration. So as a result, you can see this very nice composition and it became the SNS kind of hotspot that everyone is shooting the posing kind of picture for TikTok and then the Instagram. That is a nice effect for the local kind of tourism, I believe. But that kind of a unique challenge of the technology and the design quality and international collaboration could do something like this too. Apparently, lighting is a very important aspect of this because the lighting is not just limited to the artificial lighting alone. Apparently, this is the lighting device too. So it lights up the underground and above the grade at nighttime, and that's the attraction to the city. But at the same time, the lighting also means a lot during the daytime, so that you can play with the shadow and light, and it moves in a very sensitive fashion. That is also the nice awareness for the citizens that you normally take it as granted would be something very precious and special for you. And once it's kind of translated through this type of artwork. So that's the basic message here. And so that we can provide the more new discovery and awareness from your daily life for the local people. So it was a very happy collaboration with the local government and local manufacturer, and then of course our local team member too. It is very critical to organize the new technology and good design intention and finding a good team locally and then internationally. And we know all those how to combine and the what kind of sequence and what kind of precision of a level of detail that information should be, etc. That could create a new charm to the any kind of local city in any kind of place on earth. The construction is normally heavily relying on the local, the structure and local organization and local skills. But now we have a new choice to work more internationally and frontline technology, and that could actually contribute more to the local government, local society. I believe this project is the good proof of such a collaboration and potential. And I'd like to talk about some other project we've worked on, the kind of related field. It's not necessary only for the lighting, but the more of the that kind of new technology, and that is often related to the visual effect, like an LED and stuff. For instance, this is the small window display project in Tokyo done more than 5 years ago. As you can see, Baobao is the one of the fashion brand, and they came to us to decorate their show display window. And somehow there's the strange prerequisite like this. They want us to use this flexible LED screen. That is fine, but somehow this flexible LED screen was still in a prototype condition, and that was unique. But the resolution is very low, as you can see here, and the size is limited. So we have to kind of go over with some idea, and eventually we decided to use them as the separate display to show the Baobao logo, and collaborated with the blowing fan underneath, and so that the pattern itself displayed on the LED paper is going to be constantly changing, but the fan from below at random timing, it blows the air up, so that this soft LED sheet gonna be blown, like as you can see here. The air gonna let them dance, and then that air is the physical phenomenon, and the LED pattern is a purely digital effect, the display, which has no relation each other, but we have to design carefully so that as if the wind is blowing out of the pattern, the digital pattern, so that you can sense some kind of haptic sense of the digital substance. In this case, it's the digital pattern here. So LED pattern has nothing physical. It's all like a purely digital kind of expression. But if you carefully design, you can start sensing that as if these kind of digital kind of object has some physical presence. So there is an interaction between physical objects and the digital information, which is the kind of unique, especially if you see it in person, it's a very unique effect that you start feeling that you can touch and sense the physical presence, right? And that became the one of the theme of our office. So how to combine and then interact each other between the digital and physical. And that is also represented in one of the art installation in Milan Design Salon in 2019. We collaborated with this company DNP, Dai Nippon Printing, one of the largest printing company from Tokyo. They wanted to test and then showcase their technology of printing on the different materials. And also they have this new product called e-paper, which can be showing the different pattern and then changing pattern on the paper technically, but it doesn't have its own luminous lighting effect. It's like a paper. Paper is visible due to the reflection of the other light sources. The paper never glows by itself, unlike the lighting. So e-paper, even though it's electrically changeable in terms of their pattern and brightness, but it doesn't glow by itself. So it's very unique. You feel like it's a paper, but it changes its pattern. So we have to reinforce, not reinforce, we have to, enhance the effect of the e-paper and then make it into the installation. So this is the result. We designed this space, it's more like a camouflage. We came up with this pattern so that your brain gonna be confused that what is in front and what is far, what is the big and what is small kind of stuff. So we call it as the zebra effect, as if the zebras in a natural life, as a group, you could have the visual effect that you can't know more sense and distinct which one is the one unique horse and then what is the threshold in between. But in this scheme that we designed everything in intentionally different scales and patterns and stuff, but with the chairs, which has the e-paper in, it has the optical changes by the program so that sometimes it all of a sudden appears in the space and sometimes it disappears and merge into the background. And you cannot tell where is the chair and the other lighting equipment, but once it became dark, the shape appears in a space. So it is also a unique kind of opportunity to play with the optical effect for us, but it's not like a conventional lighting design. It's more of we handle the patterns and materiality and then visual effect in very, very precise and careful fashion so that we don't actually use the lighting, but we do the new technology and an electrical effect and some like a natural pattern and some human recognition nature. And so that you can have the very unique experience as the art installation. This is another example in Tokyo, actually. That it is opened only half a year ago. In the middle of Tokyo, there is the Kabutocho, which is the financial center of Tokyo. One of the newest building in the middle of Kabutocho is intended to have this huge display to be a symbol of the Japanese economy. So it is opened in the middle of the office building's entry lobby. The cube here is hanging from ceiling. Its size is 6 meter by 20 meter, 12 meter by 12 meter. And it's not just a huge LED display, but it's rotate as in a random timing and random pattern, so that it has the very unusual, almost like a monstrous presence to the city. The design and the size is intentionally planned so that it's kind of overly large to the space, so that this kinetic display shows it's all kind of stock exchange movement, and then some kind of news, financial news, and then even a local history to the audience pass through the lobby of the office, but not only limited to the users of the building. As you can see, the lobby is exposed to the big street of Tokyo. So there's this LED display, which is effectively a lighting display, could be very visible from the street, especially at night like this. You're driving passing through this building, you cannot avoid looking at this building and looking into this thing. This installation is called the heart, and the heart is intended to be literally a new heart, pumping up the new breed into the financial society and a new economy of Tokyo. And this is going to be the center of the blood vessel system, which is the heart. So it's a new symbol of the Japanese economy, and it's constantly moving. The fact that it's very big and the fact that it's moved, the people as the living creature, you cannot avoid looking at it, and you cannot avoid not being interested in it as the kind of instinctive fashion. So we take advantage of it, and then we made into the beautiful visual installation. This is one of the biggest kinetic visual installation of the entire planet now. And I hope that you can come visit Tokyo and then see the effect of the size and then the power of the kinetic object. Okay, and then for talking about the lighting and then also visual effect, this is the last project I'd like to introduce here. This is the project that we've walked with the artist and the graphic designer Tokoro-san. Tokoro-san is the graphic designer who designed the Olympic logo for 2020 Tokyo, and he is known for this kind of graphical pattern. And his graphic is very using a very simple geometry, but it has the very enormous effect of the how can I phrase it? I don't know. Eternity in a way, or super universality, but it could extend infinity. Maybe it's the right word. The sense of infinity is included in any of his graphic work. And we wanted to make it into the more kinetic fashion. So we collaborated with him and also with this tiling company, Lixil. And in there, one of the Lixil's gallery space, we came up with his solo exhibition and showed this installation. As you can see, it's the big pyramid-like structure covered with the tile. And we do the conventional projection mapping and then make his pattern kinetic. But not just the kinetic, but it was a kind of happy discovery for us. Due to the usage of the tile, the projection mapping, which is very common now, and it's nothing that new, but the tile of the ceramic quality and then some glass coated quality gonna have some super nice effect of the reflection. As you can see on the edge of the wall, that the tiles are reflecting in a nice kind of glowy fashion, as if those tiles are luminous by itself. It's kind of opposite effect of the e-paper that I showed earlier for the Milan Salone. In this case, the tiles is not luminous by itself. We just projecting over, but it has, because of its kind of super micro quality of the glass beads, it has the nice effect as if this entire pyramid is lit by itself. But it's not just lit by itself, but it has a kinetic effect. So it has the very unique quality as if it itself is stop becoming like a living creature. It's not really developed in a mature living creature, but it has some kind of quality of the willingness that you want to live as a pattern, as the object, and the lighting quality plays a lot in to achieve that kind of very unique and an in-between object and information living life kind of mixture. And this exhibition, the Noiz and Tokoro-san exhibition, now we are working on to travel to Taiwan this summer. We are not really final confirmed, but we are expecting to happen in the one of the museum space in Taipei, so that I hope people in Taiwan can experience and see how the live effect of like this kind of integrated combined condition of the art installation as an object, and also the graphic design, and also the lighting effect, and also as well as the kinetic effect of a movement of the object and pattern. All those combined, even though our head knows that it's an artificially designed or programmed condition, but you cannot help sensing that this is something kind of start living and having a kind of life in it. That's the one of the very unique and interesting quality of the new technology, even though digital is considered as the kind of opposite condition of the very analog and live and very nice like living creature kind of quality. But once you pursue the digital technology in a very unique and a precise combination with the materials and lightings, you can start giving a life to installations and objects, and that might be instinctively provide the effect to the people who is not trained to the art, layperson and the citizens, and that's something that we can provide to the society, and we thought that we are responsible to open up that potential through this kind of public art in the installation. So that's something that we can share today, and I hope that we have more opportunity to work with you and in the future, and we can achieve some other new project working internationally. Thank you very much.